Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. So my highest excitement in life is creating like processes or like permission slips for people to use to understand that beliefs create their own reality.
All right.
And my interest lately has been understanding the belief systems of like enlightened masters.
Yes.
So like when it comes to
They are beyond belief. They
they've
know who they are. That's why, again, I said it renders down to the two simple words, know thyself.
Right.
So ascended masters know who they are, and knowing is above and beyond belief.
Right. So my question is, can you give examples of maybe Jesus or Buddha that how they transcended limited beliefs that they had and what permission slips they used to get from the limiting belief and then transcending it? What kind of permission slips did they use in their lives?
They used life itself. Does that make sense to you? They trusted that whatever would happen in life would be exactly what they needed to achieve that transcendence. They trusted life perfectly, 100%, that it would deliver exactly the processes they needed to experience transcendence. That's what they knew for a fact.
So were they born with that, or what
Some were. Well, in a sense, all of you are.
Right.
But some are born with the realization of that, and some of them have chosen to go through a process to gain realization of that.
What would that process be?
Whatever process happened to them is what I'm saying. It's not a specific process that works for everyone.
Right.
I'm simply saying some of them chose to go through the process of whatever would come to them that would put them through a process. In other words, again, they trusted how their life unfolded.
So can you give me an example of of something that happened maybe in Buddha's life or Jesus' life that got them to go to transcend that, to know thyself? That's something.
Well, being nailed to a cross did it.
Okay. What about Buddha?
The idea is seeing the light in the darkness for Buddha. Recognizing suddenly in an instant understanding, what you would call a gestalt awareness, that a single candle at night in the darkness is all that is necessary to illuminate the entirety of creation, if you know how to look.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I was being a tiny bit facetious with the idea of being nailed to a cross, but only a tiny bit. Because what we are actually saying is they were willing to allow themselves to be taken to extremes to actually transcend past the idea that any of those things can actually affect who you really are as an eternal, indestructible being. So that was the process that was allowed there.
I see.
Yes?
Yes, thank you. So when it comes to my feeling as I've been studying.
No, one moment. Are you sure? Oh, all right. We are being asked to ask you. This may come in the form of what you call a joke. What were Jesus' last words on the cross? Nailed it.
Which goes back to the idea that to be enlightened, you have to lighten up on yourselves.
Yes, exactly. Don't take it so seriously.
Right. And then I have a question.
Yes, that went over well. Thank you.
And then in the prior transmissions, you've talked about how the...
One moment. Isn't it interesting that nobody asked who you are? Just plowed right ahead.
Who are you?
The one that gave the joke was Jesus.
Oh, right on.
Remember that one of your biblical quotes is, "My joy I leave with you." Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So now you may plow ahead.
Thank you. And then on a different topic, when it comes to, you were talking about how the Yael will be the first hybridized race that we come into contact with.
Yes.
Is there going to be any race before that that's not hybridized, or is
Yes.
What?
Don't ask who. I can't tell you.
All right.
But good question.
Now, and then my final question is about the moment of now.
Yes.
One thing that really changed in my life was when I read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yes. Totally.
Totally. When I read it, I had a shift where then I realized that the only moment that does exist is now.
Yes.
But at the same time, I thought about it later, and isn't that at some level, even though it is true, isn't it still a belief in itself? Or is it
No, it's an
transcended?
actual description of the structure of existence and one of the 5 laws. Remember? Laws are the laws. They are not beliefs. They are a description of the structure of existence itself.
I see.
Yes.
And then
Does that help?
That does help. And then one last question.
Oh, one last question.
Is Eckhart Tolle a wanderer?
A type of wanderer, yes.
I thought so. Okay. Awesome. Much love to you. Thank you, Bashar.
And you as well.